Good afternoon, everyone. So it's an honor for me to share about something that is crucial thing, important thing, and what a pleasure time that we have a discussion on this Zoom meeting. So most of you already knew me. So let me reintroduce myself firstly. My name is Nibras Adilah, also known as Nibras. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an environmentalist. I'm not an environment expert. I'm just an undergraduate student, and I'm introvert person. But I will tell something if that was important. At this time, is important thing that I have to tell you. Something that isn't only important for us as human, but also important for the life of our planet, for our future. In the previous year, I wasn't a person who really cares about the environment. I just live life as usual until one day I was very awakened by the situation that had happened so far. I could say that I don't really observe what is happening with the earth directly, but I'm knowing and learning from videos that are always facing on my social media, like Greta Thunberg's speech video. She was very viral at that time because at the young age of 8, she was tried to study for climate and become an environmental activist at a very young age. She really inspired a lot of people, including me. But it's not just Thunberg that works for climate, but many from individuals, groups, communities, and companies. Those peoples are struggling for climate also inspires me. At that time, I cared about the environment when I saw various incidents that appear on my social media, especially YouTube. One of the things that often appears on my YouTube homepage is the currently condition on this earth about climate change. I've participated in volunteer activities as a co-campaigner. In that volunteer, there's a timeline program activities. So there are many things I've just learned from TEDx Green Welfare, IG Feeds, webinar, and IG Live. Climate change is occurred. Maybe some of you or some countries haven't felt it. I guarantee you have experienced and felt it, but you didn't realize it. In fact, this is really happening in other parts of the world. According to the BBC, dozens of Mexicans died as a result of the heat wave that struck in the summer. And hot climate also made the Colorado River once a source of livelihood for residents dried up. And this is caused by global warming and climate change. The World Meteorological Organization says there's a growing change that global temperatures will break at least at 1.5 Celsius the threshold over the next 5 years. And according to the World Wildlife, polar ice caps are melting as global warming causes climate change. We lose Arctic Sea at the rate of almost 13% per decade. If emissions continue to rise unchecked, the Arctic could be ice-free in the summer by 2040. But what happens in the Arctic does not stay in the Arctic. Sea ice loss has far-reaching effects around the world. One of those affected is the city in our country. Yes, Jakarta. The Indonesian Institute of Sciences, or LIPI, stated that Jakarta has the potential to sink in the next few years. Researchers at the LIPI Oceanographic Research Center said that Jakarta could sink due to land subsidence and sea level rise. Most of you already know about climate change. Climate change is a change in the global temperature and pattern of weather, affecting oceans, land surfaces, and occurring over time scale of decades or longer, which eventually affects different aspects of our lives, economic, social, environmental, and other realms. Many things cause climate change, but the main cause of climate change is the burning of fossil fuels, such as oil and coal, which release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Other human activities such as agriculture, livestock, and deforestation also contribute to proliferation of greenhouse gases that cause climate change. Besides that, vehicle activities that produce smoke contribute to climate change, and the disposal of large amounts of organic waste also contribute to climate change. And something that can happen if it continues or affect or climate change, like unpredictable weather patterns, rising sea level, Arctic likely become ice-free, loss of wildlife, and biodiversity. If climate change is not stopped, those things will occur and slowly destroying our planet. So some ways we can do to stop this climate change. First is consume less and waste less. Why? Because food waste or organic waste ends up in the landfills produces methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. So this will have reducing emissions that which contribute to climate change. Second is energy conservation. Use energy wisely, or a better choice would be shifting to renewable energy. If you have much money or advanced costs, you can spend your money to upgrade your energy or shifting your energy to solar panel. But if you don't have much money, just use the energy wisely. The third is shift to more sustainable diet, or in other words, this can be food diversification. Our diet has a considerable environmental impact. If the current diet of the world population does not change until 2050, there will be an 80% increase in greenhouse gas emission from food production and land clearing activities or deforestation. And the last thing, and the most important thing, or the most crucial thing, is never stop educating yourself through joining climate-related events. So those are things or ways we can do to tackle this climate change. The human civilization is facing the biggest ongoing existential threat, that is climate change. It's globally important issues. Global heating, where the temperatures of Earth will rise every single year and will destroy our life, our wildlife and biodiversity existence, our planet, and our future. So we know that our Earth is getting weak. To make this happen, we cannot do this alone. We cannot be alone. We must work hand in hand together, especially from government and people who's in the power, in order to make a big contribution or regulation to our world in the future, to make a better future in our life. So let's move forward and take the action for our planet, for a better life. That's all. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.